Thinking about Zennevallei. I'm Mark Brearley from London, helping to keep going the thinking about how diverse economic life can continue to be integrated into metropolitan Brussels. House above factory, here painted yellow, totemic of what we're going after on a big scale. Under the umbrella of Atelier Brussels Productive Metropolis in July 2017, we kicked off the latest series of 6 sessions. The second workshop was in October 2018. Here's a taster of what we did over a few days. Zennevallei workshop, part of Atelier Zennevallei. We took a huge area of focus to open up a discussion, new for me and the visitor team, so we only scratched the surface. It's a complex piece of city and mixed. It's how we like it. Housing and a clear valley space, a remarkable but fractured green matrix, an industrial constellation, vibrant against the expectations of many, the usual story. We decided to look at these chunks straddling Vorst and Drogenbos, coinciding with the Good City Has Industry show coming to the area, a wonderful prompt for conversation, and it was our base for a few days while we did some delving and first thoughts. Long-term collaborators Dan Jessen and Julian Lewis from East in London came along, and we dovetailed our work with that by a group of students from Sheffield. We walked and visited lots, including to the bakery, of course. Ever sharp and willing Mr. Zaman here with 2 helpers, Joe and Carlotta. Dan from the province, with us throughout. Brilliant. Jessen and Lewis on the site that Audi have bought. And working around a big table, sitting, working while standing. Simple observations about what's good, for example. And much map tracing. Suggestions emerging for ways to weave together, and where to build big and easy, where to dovetail, to graft to more domestic places, Drogenbos and Roosbrook, getting to grips with how the landscape can be affirmed and embraced. This is straddling the 3 areas we zoomed in on: ex-Catala, Audi expansion, and Allnex's spare buildings. Working with, weaving together, Catala. Wonderful combination of presence, hugeness, and semi-invisibility. Vast sheds that can, probably should, be replaced by vast sheds, but worked in with some really precious moments, special assets, big scope for much industrial economy, but with the chance to graft it to Drogenbos to make a place of exchange. We explored the placement of smaller, larger and colossal sheds, weaved into the landscape, linked to the forests and the wet valley. And we tried variants, and more of them. The tie together, ideas of big and small, of yard overlaps. Carlotta told us about Cassina in the Po Valley of old, and that felt potent. And then thinking about Flemish farm clusters, the equivalent. An idea for bringing together working and domestic. Old village befriending vast new industrial. A public place that is a yard, is industrial but is also civic. Then Audi. Nice big factory, biggest in the Brussels area. Busy shifting to electric vehicle production. And a little further along the railway they found a chunk of land where they want to expand. It's up there, beyond Roosbrook. They want big sheds for producers who supply them, currently in the main factory, but now that space is needed. All good, but their drawings are crude, pragmatic, but they give nothing back. So we deployed that same graft potential idea. We looked at an alternative arrangement that gets the same spaces, the same logistics links, but gives a better river, a more shareable landscape, and a small unit industrial opportunity tucked in at one end. All of it more urban. Rail and road goes through the middle. The same size 3 big units, but configured better. More able to be an add-on to tie in with Roosbrook, where the motor factory was. The edge of that village. And here from the other side of the river, making good edges. Allnex was a bonus. They have a spare part of their factory and it's large. They don't want to sell it. They don't want uses that could compromise their main operations. All of this is what's open for suggestions. Exciting. A gift, really. And they do seem open-minded and willing. And they have some fine buildings. The Allnex plant manager wants good things to happen. And he wants his input chemicals to come by canal rather than by road. What great rooms he's got. This one and this one, that one. So the same graft idea, here applied to the increasingly public world of the canal edge. We loosely speculated about uses and ways to bring them. Tentative steps. This conversation really must roll on. And more with our friends from Sheffield, a group of architecture students we guided during their investigations into a few more parts of this area. You can find a link to their video in the text block. Many who need thanking are thanked in that text block also. Next workshop will be in Bordeaux.